News Alert. New details coming in on the push to win the vote of Democrat Bart Stupak. He's from the state of Michigan. He has been a holdout when it comes to abortion funding that he says is in that Senate bill. That's the bill the Democrats in the House are voting on. All parties in the House are voting on. Today, they are still trying to win his vote and the votes of others who are holding firm along with him. There had been reports earlier today, not confirmed by Fox, that Bart Stupak was now flipping his vote and was a yes. We've got the latest from our own Major Garrett, who is live at the White House right now. Major, what do we know?
What do we know officially is this, Megan, that Bart Stupak's spokeswoman emailed me just a moment ago and said there is no deal yet on an executive order dealing with the question of abortion, and Congressman Stupak is still a no vote right now. Conversations are continuing, and that extra right now qualifier signals to me that these conversations with the White House not only are ongoing, but may in fact yield a deal acceptable to Congressman Stupak and possibly others in his ranks of pro-life Democrats who have been reluctant to vote for this legislation, but have said publicly they do want to vote for it as long as they can receive some degree of assurance from the White House on this question of a direct abortion funding. What I can tell you from the White House perspective is this: the White House does not believe this executive order is necessary, believes that the language in the Senate bill does prevent direct federal funding of abortion, but if in fact they get the word from House Democratic leaders that such an executive order is necessary, either to make the magic 216 number for passage or to provide sufficient margin above 216 to give all House Democrats who vote for it the ability to say, I'm not the deciding vote on this, the White House will go forward with an executive order. But this is not a done deal. Bart Stupak is still officially, according to his spokeswoman, still a no vote. But that situation could change in the next couple of hours.
Major, what does this, I mean, the fact that they're even talking about an executive order to appease Bart Stupak and his pro-life contingent of Democrats, what does that tell you about where the vote stands separate and apart from those Democrats?
It tells us that the vote is still extremely close. The White House remains confident, as do House Democratic leaders, that they have the votes. And I can't discern yet, Megan, if this is an issue that is for the magic number of 216 or to pad that number a little bit. My gut tells me it might be to pad that number a little bit, but because these negotiations are going on and because they have reached this intense level and because there's sort of this back and forth, yes, no, what is it, what isn't it, that tells me this situation is still very much up in the air and could remain so until the final hours leading up to the vote. Quite clearly, it's already been up in the air until the final hours. It could be to the final minutes. Okay. One other thing, Megan, this could be a matter of choreography. Congressman Stupak may have in fact agreed or sent signals that this language in the executive order is acceptable to him, but what he may need to see is that executive order released and pronounced by the White House before the vote occurs. This could all be a question of choreography. I just don't know yet. What we do know officially is
I'm running
he's
out
a
of time,
no.
Major. I want to get this in. I don't understand how by executive order President Obama can solve Stupak's problem. The Senate bill right now requires women who buy subsidized insurance plans that cover abortion to send in a separate check that would go to funding abortion. How does an executive order correct that?
The executive order, of course, we don't have any idea what it says, so I can't answer that specifically. The idea, that, as has been expressed to me, is that an executive order would place the president and his signature consistent with the underlying Hyde Amendment, no federal funding for abortion. If that's enough for Stupak, it will be. Does it solve the legal question? I have no idea.
No, I have no idea either. We're going to try to get clarification. We've got two Democrats coming on in our next hour, and I'm going to ask them about this to try to get it straight one way or the other. Major Garrett's working very hard today at the White House, as always. Major, thanks so much.